Live and direct! Janik, your host, again. Yeah. Today we're going to talk about fear. Yeah. What did I mark? No courage without fear. That's it. Simple, eh? No courage without fear. For sure, fear is legitimate. There's some fear we have to acknowledge, but also the thing is not so much fear itself. I think it's more limitation that we put to ourselves. Because fear, the only fear I can see legitimate is if like a big bad animals is running after me, like stuff like that. But the public speaking or stuff like that is, I don't think I think we have more, like I said, I think it's yesterday, it's a fear of failure or a fear of not uh, going up to your expectation on stage or here on YouTube or stuff. The fear to not be able to deliver. Same thing for a singer or anybody that gets on stage. The fear that you have is not that someone will jump on stage and eat you alive. That that's not gonna happen. But it's to also acknowledge that and move through your fears and conquer them one after the other. Like, for sure, I have a certain. It's not fear that I have here. It's a and maybe the only fear that I can maybe sense, and it's not really fear because I don't really let that immobilize me. A fear will either immobilize you or make you want to fly. Fight and flight, I think is the expression. So, but if you don't let fear immobilize you, you're going to find strength in your fears. That's what you're going to do, and you're going to become a very very strong person, very confident. This is the goal. I think one of the goal of life is to build strength and confidence and move through our fears. And the first, I think the main fear that we can all pretty much share is the fear of what other people thinks of us. That's one of the main one, because other than that, what do you fear? What do I have to fear here, other than what people's gonna think of what I say? Nothing much. No? What someone's gonna jump through the screen? It's not gonna happen. So the only thing that can really stop you, it's yourself. You will stop. You are your own worst enemy. As soon as you acknowledge that there's if there's no enemy on the inside, the enemy on the outside cannot hurt you. But if you have an enemy inside, that's an old African proverb. But if you have an enemy on the inside, if you are not capable to slay the demons day after day, because that's what it is. It's I have, for myself, I can talk for myself. I've been programmed very deep into the madness of Babylon, like pretty much all of us. So to liberate ourselves from that mental slavery, to emancipate yourself from mental slavery, none but ourselves can free our mind, and it's very important. In this time, it's a new paradigm. It's a new paradigm, a new earth, call it whatever you want, but it's a new vibration here for sure. There's a new vibe on earth. And you can sense that vibe wherever you go. I mean, because of course, if you carry the vibe also, to carry on is very important. It's to carry the vibe, carry the truth, carry our mission here. And no man is an island. I cannot do this thing alone. We need everybody to rise. It's a rise up time. That's why we are in a time where things are changing, but are changing also rapidly. Some people might not sense the change so much, because when you're hooked on TV and stuff like that, that's all they have on your mind is the madness of the world. So it's very negative to watch TV. It's very you cannot tell me you feel good after watching the news. I don't think anybody feels good after watching the news. It's very negative. Very. I've realized that, but when you're in it and you're not able to like make a proper judgment of what you're watching. If you're under the trance of illusion of knowing and stuff, you will probably think that the world on TV is real. That for many, many people, they think that what they see on TV every day is what happens in the world. When we all know It takes a little bit of research. It doesn't take much to realize that the news are fake. Like, it doesn't take much to find this. It's just to use your eyes in a very, very not only your eyes, but look at things with your heart. Look at things the way you should look at, not in a program way, and tell yourself, is it normal that we live in so much negativity? So much fear around, so much doubt. People delaying their greatness. So I waited 40 years in Babylonian calendar to start manifesting my greatness. Maybe that's what it was meant to happen, but still, I could have manifested my greatness much earlier. Always been great. I came in this world. I was great, but I've been programmed and I kept myself pretty much. I limited myself. We can blame everybody. I can blame everybody. I can blame the system. I can blame this, blame that. But I take the blame in the first place. That's why I'm here to undo my trauma and to take responsibility for my life and give thanks for life. Give thanks. I've realized that my life was worth living, was worth having experience, was worth stretching and just inspiring. Most of it, it's about staying inspired and conquer our fears one after the other. There's going to be a lot, for sure. Fear rips us from freedom. It is the destroyer of greatness. Oh, yeah, it is the destroyer. You can let fear destroy you. For sure, it will immobilize you. It will. Most people are immobilized by insecurity, and fears. That's what immobilize people to start manifesting their greatness or chasing a dream or living in the now or whatever it is. It's fear. We know this, and we know we should tame our mind in order to defeat fear. Yet, look at all the adults who act like powerless children and avoid the life they want because of fear. Because of fear. Realize that, I've realized too that that's it. The only fear really that there is here is what other people's gonna think of me. So I don't care about that. I don't care. People talk anyway. People talk, and people. That's what we do. We gossip about each other and talk. But me, I like to talk too, but about projects and motivation and staying uplifted and stuff. That's what I like to talk about. And you grow from people in projects. That's how you're gonna grow. You grow from people in projects, people that are doing something with their life, are trying to help others, are trying to manifest something out of their life and manifest the greatness. But it might take a while also to get in touch with all the great stuff inside you. For sure, you have to find yourself, I think, in the first place. You have to discover yourself. Rise in love with yourself each and every day is very important to do the work. I give myself YouTube as a tool to really stay motivated also and not let all the fears that I have in my life stop me from growing, because that's what it will do also. It will keep you on pause. It will keep you on pause. Humanity is on pause because of fear. That's why. We could advance much, much faster in our awakening if there would be not so much fear. And the fear is, look, again, can point the government, can point the people in power, but this is us. It's easy to point the finger and say and blame them, but them are us. There's no them, there's only we. So who are we blaming? We should take responsibility, each and every one, for our lives and start undoing what the evil ways we always had, and start working on ourselves. Stop pointing finger at the system, at the government, at this, at that, and create the change. Be the light. You have all that potential inside you to become the most bright beacon in the world if you want. You can be an expert in any domain, in any talk, whatever domain you're going, if you work on yourself, if you do the effort. But most people, that's where they stop, because there's effort involved. and we want to do the minimum to have the maximum. But at one point, when you work in accordance with natural laws and laws of the universe, natural laws, it doesn't involve time and stuff like that. So you have to be very patient. Very patient. It's not something that operates in that Babylonian dimension. It's much. It's on another level. I feel it, and it's important to feel things. Also, you can talk, but feel it, experience it. I'm coming here to share my experience, my vision about this world, about where I live. That's it's a very strange world. Very strange. People are very strange. Sometimes I look and I'm like, wow, why are so some are very much some are living dead, but some have a little bit of vibes, but the fear, you sense the fear in people. This is what I've realized after seeking, finding, and realizing that I had fear for nothing in life. I shouldn't fear, but I shouldn't fear nothing but fear itself. That's the only thing you should fear is fear. So once you know that, you just go on and you carry on, and day by day you're gonna build the strength. Like I said, and it's just you find strength in there. You find strength, and you build a new you, a reborn person. That's what you have to do. You have to die many times to live in this world. In this world, you're born dead with life. So if you stay dead, you're gonna stay dead all your life. You're gonna remain dead. You're gonna be even a living dead. Yeah. There's some. It's a wicked the state of mind, and oof. I wouldn't want to be in their head. Let me tell you. But that's why I'm not in their head. Also, yeah. Suzanne is here. Red Rose Rocker Jay, my bro Jay, and Leslie. Big up, everyone. Plus the other ones watching and not in the chat. And not everybody goes in the chat. I understand. Some are not logged into in Facebook. Some don't have account, and they just go. Some people sent me email from Florida, and they say, "Oh, we watch you every day. We watch each and every one of your video, but we're not logging on YouTube." Like not everybody logs in and have account, and but that's okay. No? The socially oppressed say, "Well, you don't understand. People are always holding me back, and I'm afraid to chase my dreams because others will judge and reject me." For sure, people. The moment you start getting in touch with something outside of the norm, because the norm is the default state for me, the default state is the living dead state, but not only living dead. The default state is like there's some living dead, there's some in the default state with vibration, but because of fear they don't go to the next level. So it's not that we're all living dead. There's some are really living dead. Like I wonder what goes through their head, but some are like in an awakening state but still in fear, and I'm sure a lot of people can feel that, and it's something you can start to gain more confidence, more power into your journey once you start waking up. The best way to make your dreams come true is to wake up. Wake up, wake up. That's all I can say. And waking up, Tupac Shakur said, "You think the world is messed up? Wait until you wake up." It's a very, very, very strange, very inverted, very. When you look at something, always look the other way. Always look the inverted way. In everything that they do, that they say, that they teach me, I'll always look the inverted way, and I find more truth in the inverted way than what they tell me. So it's listen, it's packed with lies for sure. It's just to look around, take a good look around, and you will realize. I'm not here to make you the list of our misery. The list would be very long. We would be here for a long time. So it's to get out of this mediocrity humanity state that we're in. It's mediocrity of the mind. That's what it is. A mental genocide. And all that because of fear, doubt, delay, and stuff that we let ourselves be immobilized with. It is the first realization of the mindful a human, unless we are being chased by a deadly animal or deranged human. Yeah, that's true. There's some that are very deranged. Or face imminent physical harm like falling to our death. Fear is just bad management of our mind. It's just bad management. There's fear that are legitimate. If someone comes with a gun, for sure I'm gonna have a fear. You know, if some a deranged human chase you with a knife, you're gonna have fear. You're gonna find a way to defend yourself because of fear is gonna provoke that inside you. But it's just also when you look at other fears, like fears to come on YouTube or to do video on YouTube or stuff like that, there's just bad management of the mind. And because also what I was saying to myself before coming on YouTube, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be trolled by all kinds of people. You know, I'm gonna be. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. You know how many bad comments I had. I'm gonna tell you something. How many bad comments? First of all, I never received any. Like something very insulting. It never happened. They might call me stupid sometime, but that I don't really care. It's a reflection of themselves. But I've never had a really bad experience on YouTube, bad comments or a bad experience. More emotional experience than bad experience because I don't think there's anything as a bad day. It's just a character building day. A character, you build your character along your journey. That's what you do. But did I have bad experience? I had emotional experience. People can know probably what I'm talking about. From some time it comes from people that you expect the least. You know, the people that you expect the least are the one that's gonna backstab you or talk in your back. It's always like that. Bob Marley had a song, who the cap fit. Your best friend can be your worst enemy and your worst enemy can be your best friend. And that's true. And I know how it feels because I've trusted people in the past and got yeah, let's say the outcome of the relationship wasn't as anticipated at the beginning. But that's okay. You have to be willing to take walks alone also. At one point, I realized I had to start walking alone, start walking to my path by like each one, for sure. But at one point also, I know what I bring to the table. I'm not afraid to eat alone here. I can, I've done my homework, and that's what I suggest we all do. It's important to do talking about Tupac. Yeah, Prodigy, Mob Deep passed away too. Rest in paradise, rest in power, rest in power, Mob Deep. Yeah, I think I know him, but I don't know if I ever listened to his music. I was a big fan of Tupac Shakur. The other one I like is what's his name? I had a few. Hold on, it will come back. Yeah, I had a few. Rakim, Eric B. and Rakim. I really like them. He's got great stuff, Eric B. and Rakim together. So yeah, so fear. Let's come back to our little, so we can move out once and for all out of fear and stuff like that. Because it's important to understand the anatomy of fear. Very important. If you want to conquer it, very important. It's like life. Their system is a game. You have to learn the rule to play the game. Any game you play, football, soccer, whatever, hockey, you have to learn the rules to play the game. And that's the same thing with life. That's why I'm here. That's why I said, okay, I want to go on the world stage now. This is world stage. This is the prelude to my probably ascension, but I'll see where for now, I use this as a tool to stay uplifted and build strength. Stay uplifted and build strength, and always, have a great staying motivated. Staying motivated is very important. No one will come and motivate me. No one will come and knock at my door and say, "Hey, you want me to help you with motivation?" Motivation is someone from within. It's like here, I can inspire you to stay motivated, but you have to motivate yourself. You have to motivate yourself. I cannot motivate you. I can inspire you to greatness, inspire you to go after your greatest version of yourself, because that's what I'm experiencing, I'm going towards. That's my experience, but for sure, I will come and share things also here that are in my experience, in my immediate experience of life, always in the now. So yeah, so let's understand the anatomy of fear. Fear is the thief of humanity's light. That's all it is. Fear is the thief of humanity's light. It's stealing our light. Because look, the moment you put away fears and all the nonsense, you can see the light. That's what I tell you all the time. I've seen the light. It looks weird for people to hear you say you've seen the light or stuff like that. They will look at you like, what you mean you've seen the light? Yeah, yeah. But, truth varies with the level of awareness also. So, very important to it may be a necessary instinct that causes us to make smart choices, to flee from pain, danger, or struggle. But we must be wary of it. Most people find harm in life because of fear that benefit by it. Those who seek to make fear a positive thing are justifiers, not sages. They aren't champions of consciousness. Attempting to conceal fear as a friend is like forcing a wolf to be a pet. Soon the pet will eat us alive. Declaring that we will master our fears is the first great leap towards freedom. Our vitality, growth, and destiny all demand that we can topple fear. As so much hangs in the balance, let us better understand what fear really is. Fear is the human motive of aversion, not ascension, aversion. Fear doesn't help us commit to higher aims. It doesn't help us imagine greatness. Its sole aim is immediate release from threat, strain, or pain. It often becomes, by all means necessary, approach to controlling any given situation so that the body, but most often the ego, can feel safe and unchallenged. For sure. That's what is the goal of fear. Fear was given to us as a motive to avoid physical harm and death. That is it. We are the ones who have perverted it into a tool for the ego's protection. Almost all the fear we experience today has nothing to do with physical threat. We have taken this impulse for safety and bastardized it into ego-driven desires to feel more emotionally comfortable. We've hacked its short-term nature into a long-term tool to avoid difficult circumstances in order to satiate our base desires for approval. Fear has become a crutch for emotional weakness. And as with all crutches, we shall fall slave to its use unless we once more condition our strength. Conditioning our strength. It's a must. It's a must. Take whatever way you have to condition your strength is the best thing you can do. Most people do not like to discuss fear because it inevitably exposes the ugly truth that we are more often fleeing from ourselves than from actual danger. That's the most thing. That's why people don't like talk about fear and stuff like that, exactly, because it puts us in front of the mirror and realize that we are very much in fear, and we have settled for crumbs all our life because of fear. That's what happened. Because the modern worries that we succumb to are simply byproducts of our misuse of this primitive motive. Almost all fear we experience today and its resultant cowardly thinking and behavior is just imagined social drama created by unchecked mental impulse and conditionings. We are afraid of being rejected, isolated, and abandoned, not of being eaten alive. And those kinds of social fears can be overcome by willful practice. Practice, practice, practice. When someone says I'm fearful of public speaking, yeah. Speaking to one person or 1,000, it's still public speaking to me. No? But I always, but this is one thing they should you really condition the younger generation is into public speaking and taking the mic in front of people. In schools, they should really encourage every child to get up on stage and talk and conquer their fears. That should be done. They don't. Yeah, they do it like. I've done the expose oral, I think, when I was younger, but it's once a year. It should be constantly repeated that every week they do one speech, like maybe one children. I don't know how we would do this, but really I would encourage that public speaking for children, especially starting very young. You put them in front because that's the most fear that we have is what other people think of us. So if you conquer that young, you can access greatness very, very fast. The reason why probably I've never been in touch with my greatness or trying to seek the real version of myself is because of fear and fear of what other people thinks of me. But if I would have started conquering those limitations when I was younger, for sure, something else would have happened. But it's limitation we put to ourselves a lot. It's anyway. To me, it's clear after going through it, you realize that you've been holding yourself back. That's the thing, and the cost of fear is something. Naturally, we all struggle with free self-expression, and we all want to do our best. We would love the power to be ourselves on the world stage at all times. Our great challenge is that in an unconditioned mind, fear is louder and more intense and immediate than our desire for self-mastery or for contribution to others. But it's important to have a why too. You must have a great why. You must know who you're doing this for. Very important. Who are you doing this for? Not only you, for sure. Me, I do this. I have a great why. I have something for sure that pushes me to greatness. To like, come on, it's to know your why also, and to because often the little voice inside your head will be much louder. The voice of fear, the voice of limitation and stuff is always much louder than what your art. Because if you listen to if I would listen to what I think and everything, I would not be here. But you have to follow your heart also. To go through your fear, follow your heart. And go up to your expectation. Don't think you have to live up to expectation of others, or put yourself a great life plan and go through it, and day after day you rise, and you conquer more fears. It's not about just a one-time experience, or do it because if you fall back, like if you one day you don't do what you have to do, or you don't work on yourself on the project or something that makes you want to also be of contribution. Very important. It's about giving. We must give more. Give, and you will receive. Don't worry about, like I say, sometimes it's going to come from unexpected channels also. Things are going to come to you, maybe not necessarily directly where you gave it, but it's going to come back another way. I have experienced that. I experience it every day. So it's I'm very, very fortunate for the life I lived, and I give thanks for it. And that's why I come and share my views and my inspiration, because I'm very, very inspired. And that's what happened. When you become inspired, you become unstoppable. You become unstoppable because you're suddenly tapping into the great power of creation, of the everything that's been, everything is coming from the same source. We're just a fractal of source. And we have the potential to access everything. I think something I can feel. something I can feel, that we can access the great power of the universe. It's in me, it's in you, it's in all of us. We can create magnificent life if we put the effort to it. If we put the effort, but often this is what stops us. Is it's a lot of effort, and there's something that wants to sabotage our internal drive, the negativity of the state of mind, and because it's all about you. It's you versus you. You realize at one point it's you versus you. It's not you against the world, or forget about that. It's you versus you. Just conquering yourself. Conquering yourself will make you very, very mighty, but it's gonna take you a long time to conquer all your fears and everything. I don't care who you are, what you do. Even if you have get up on stage 1,000 times, you still have the not that fear, but that it takes probably a lifetime to clear all those. Especially unless you start very young, like I said, to teach children to realize that there's nothing to fear but fear itself. Maybe you would grow up with a different mindset, for sure. That's why it's important to tell the children the truth and show them how they can access their greatness. It starts with the younger generation. Me, okay, I can inspire very, very much, but if we start telling the children the truth, especially empower them to seek greatness, for sure you can bring a horse to the water, doesn't mean he's going to drink it, but if you give them the possibility to at least envision a greater version of themselves, and into a world that is very, very oppressive, very, I think it's essential, but the worst oppression is the self-oppression. That's the worst, and that's what we have to teach children now, so that they can face the world boldly. That's what I teach my children. That's why I bring Gavin a lot with me when I make videos. I want him to hear, to be empowered, to it's not that type of stuff I'm saying here. You don't hear that in the. It's not on the school program. It's not on the school program. Even it should be. It should be on the school program. You know, telling the children the truth. But I don't know. As a society, we prefer the lies, and we're comfortable with lying to our children every day in school. I don't know what's going on. I've realized that I was doubting their stuff a lot when I was young. My body was physically rejecting. The history class and some other class in secondary. I was very rebel, very. My body was rejecting it, but I've never. I knew there was something with Christopher Columbus and that story. Like I always doubt that. They show us the history in books and stuff, and l'histoire du Québec et du Canada, stuff like that. But I've realized fast that it was. Once I started to, but young, I didn't like. You don't think that the whole world is a lie. It's so. It's because it's very big. It's very easy to realize, but it's also very big. It's a like there's many magicians to create that illusion. There's many magicians, and most of them don't even know that they are magician, that they are black magician. Like all the scientists and people that are in science and stuff that thinks that but they are most of them are under the illusion of knowing, especially when it comes to space stuff and rocket science. Rocket science, the rocket that they launch and goes back in the water on a barge or something. I don't know what they do with those rockets. Do they throw them in the ocean? Maybe they throw. Maybe they have it. That's why the budget is so high. Maybe every time they launch one and they throw it in the ocean, or I don't. I think they must recuperate it, or it goes. Maybe it goes and land in Antarctica. Who knows? But it always does that kind of thing. Nobody can get out of here. I'm convinced of that. We live in love and grace. We're divinely protected, and that's what I think humanity is missing the point on that. And the fear, the fear is harvested on the collective level also, and it's very important for them to make us live in fear, that we doubt ourselves, that there is fear propagated in the society, and they go literally at the inverse of what they should do. They should protect the people. They should be for the people. But instead of that, they terrorize the people. So the people live in fear. So it's clear. Me, I see crystal clear in their madness. The whole thing is in cahoot together. All the countries are in cahoot together, and can tell me that because of I see that being in cahoot together because of the space thing. When I came in contact with, hey, space is fake. Whoa, whoa. There's many space agency in the world. They're all in cahoot together. They're all together for the space program, but then they go at war. They go create war once against each other, but for the space program, they come back together. Like, isn't it nice? Woo! Like, they're all in cahoot together. The whole world's a stage. I know I can see crystal clear in your madness, dirty Babylon. And that's why I probably wake up to your madness to do something and to it's enough. It's enough. We are in a time where the truth is being spoken, and that gives me a lot of hope. That's why also I keep going and I keep rising, and because the truth is being spoken, the truth is us. It's being spoken. We're starting to emit, make our voice resonates, and not only resonates in music, it resonates a lot everywhere. Many people are either going on YouTube or YouTube is a great tool we have. Me, I don't. I know it's part of the program. Everything is fantasy and illusion, and if you ask me, everything is fantasy. Even YouTube. YouTube is a tool for. Come on, it's clear to me. But once you analyze also the yeah, like I said, the cost of fear, the cost of fear. To tame fear, we must first recognize its horrid effects on our lives. What comes of us when we are motivated by fear? We lose our emotional center and mental character. We break our integrity very often. Our thoughts become frazzled and riddled with anxiety. All conscious thinking, intelligence, and behavior narrow to self-protection, limiting our capabilities to be open and strong. Our natural tendency for genuine self-expression are paused. It's genuine. We want to express ourselves. We need anybody. You cannot tell me, looking at me here, that you don't want to go out and express yourself and voice your voice. But it's to find a way to voice it. That sometimes it takes a while to get in touch with yourself, and it's just to rise in love and constantly. I don't know. To me, I go day by day, most of it. Our natural tendencies for genuine self-expression are paused, and our ability to act to fulfill our dream is paralyzed. Paralyzed. And that's why I say often I'm victim of a world that doesn't want to dream anymore. That's what it is. You talk about people, you tell people you have a dream, and they look at you so freaking weird because that's the whole point. That's the whole point, is to dream and to live your dream and to create something out of your life. And people are so like low vibration that even you go tell them, hey, I started to work on my dream. And it'd be like, what? Like they're gonna. So it's something. That's why becoming your own cheerleader, your own, it's very important, because not everybody will see what you're going for, and they will not cheer for you. The people will not come. Very few people will. I have the chance to have me. I do my journey on YouTube, and I have a lot of great people constantly giving me strength, and that's what we do to each other. Motivation is both ways. Motivation is bringing someone to do something because they want to do it. If you want to be motivated, I can bring you there. I can inspire you. I can share all my heart and all my love to inspire people. But you have to want it. How bad do you want it? That's a question. You know what Eric Thomas says? I think he says you have to want it as bad as you want to breathe. That's what it is. If you don't want it as bad as you want to breathe, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. You got to want it bad. You have to be willing to have long days and short nights and stuff like that. That's for sure. It's part of the game. It's part of the greatness. And it's outside of timing. You have to become very patient on many aspects, patient with people. And, that's what we lack a lot. We lack patience. And when we allow fear as a constant in our lives, our ambitions and behavior become small and constrained. For sure, if fear is ruling you, for sure, you're not gonna advance with abandon. The whole point is to advance with abandon, with all your heart, with open heart, without fear of demands and all kinds of stuff. Like most of it, that's another thing we fear often is fear of we're gonna have too much demands and people gonna be after you and stuff. And most of it, like people, are doing on their journey also, and that's great. We're all joining our forces together, and that's great. We are coming together to make it work. It's a time of it's a decade of consciousness, a decade of awareness, consciousness, whatever. Yeah, people become more aware of who they are. We become timid and stressed. We withdraw. We become cowards. Life's energy, entropies, all things trapped in the cage of fear, smother and die quickly. Yeah, some people become such slaves to fear that they constantly feel powerless, inferior, ready to give up. That's what fear is going to do. It's fear. Listen, it's going to make you do uh, spiritual suicide for sure. And if you don't have goals, you're not working on a dream. You are committing spiritual suicide. That's what you're here for, to create something magnificent out of your life. Day by day, I'm not saying I have created. One day I will become someone. I told you. One day I will become someone. I'm just scratching the surface of my potential. This is not it. Don't judge me now. That's not it. I'm just being reborn in this world. So it's just that even me, it's very humble what I do. It's just I come here and speak. It's something naturally that I have to do naturally. I have to express myself. So why would I fear that? I want to do it, and I want to do it more and more, so people can be inspired. I have a voice. I came here for something. I'm not gonna shut down and put myself in a cage of fear and because of society and Babylon and enough the nonsense. Time rise up, time people. Rise up, time, rise and shine. Time to rise and shine. Yeah. They allow others to hurt them because they do not speak up for themselves. They quietly play it safe, never showing themselves to the world. And that's the thing. The moment you discover and manifest your gift and share it with the world, the shift is made. That's what Jason says as one of his songs. And it's true. The moment you discover your gift, the moment you actualize yourself, you manifest your greatness in the world, that's what's going to happen. A big shift will happen and you will feel it. You will feel it, and you need that shift. You need that shift. We all need that shift, unless you like the low vibration. But I don't know anybody that's eager to live a better life. Anybody here eager to live a better life? No. And better life for me, like I said to Gavin, the only thing I would like, if you talk in sense of material things that I would like to have in my dream one day, is like an old barn with a huge land that I can cultivate and grow my own food and renovate the barn and live in a barn, and with maybe a tractor, or not even a tractor, some animals to do the land or something. Maybe I would have to hire someone because of my knee, but it's something that I would like for sure. I don't need much, but even that, I'm very, very satisfied with what I have now. So it's not about all. If I envision something material coming out of my dream, would be just to have a piece of land like I'm supposed to have and have a roof over my head. But I don't want a big castle. I want an old barn and renovate it. That's what I want. They have those old barns. You buy an old land and you just do everything. Me, I know I'm Green Thumb certified now, so I can grow a lot of stuff. I know I talk to them with love. I don't know if you've seen my tomato plants now on Facebook, but I take very good care. My wife said, I wish you would take care of me as much as you take care of your tomato plants. That's what she told me. She was a bit not she made joke about it, but it was funny. I'm like, yeah, I take very good care of them. Yeah, you should see me. I talk to them. I put reggae music around them. I make sure that they have good vibration, and you should see them grow. Oof. Can't wait to see the tomatoes coming on this. So yeah, so people lose their businesses because fear stops them from changing and innovating. That's another thing. Often your business will end up failing because you have not developed the strength or the to innovate and to really be proactive. Like that's why my business have failed on eBay because I was not innovative. I because now I had to stretch outside and also there's always big sellers, big corporation. The corporations are greedy. That's why small sellers end up leaving or going bankrupt or whatever. Like a lot of things can happen, especially when you start. Riskless living is risky. I think you better take risk in life. Yeah. So marriages end in divorce because one or both spouses are too afraid to open up, to communicate, to be vulnerable or sexy or honest. On a societal level, all the worst atrocities of mankind stem from fear. Those compelled by fear become terrified, distrustful, and often hateful of other people. Their fear gives rise to an overweening self protection to such a degree that they want power over others. That's what's happening with our lovely people that have decided to lead us, that they think we need guidance. But in some way, we kind of need it. We kind of need it. I imagine the world without government and without, like, it's just the lies I don't like. It's the insult. Like, it's not so much the lies, but the insult to my intelligence, to our intelligence that bother me. You can make up any story about the history. You believe it or not. Like, you don't have to adhere to everything they say. But I think the fear should not something that make humanity advance for sure. To propagate the fear and to perpetuate the fear, and that we do it ourselves on many levels. There are so many devils on so many levels. Oh, Jah, keep me away. Yeah. Teacher D. No Teacher D. Go check him out. Great man, Teacher D. Yeah. Their fear gives rise to an overweening self-protection. Yeah, that they want power over others. Their ego is so fiercely challenged by the rise of people unlike themselves that they become the bigots and tyrants and sometimes grand scale murderers whose unchecked fear burns into a perilous soup of unspeakable actions against humanity. Yeah. And that you talk about the government that terrorize people and stuff like that. No, the terror doesn't come from us. They keep us in terror. If they're, why? That's something I asked myself the other day. Why is always those false flag or attacks, terrorist attacks, happen on the on the civilian people? Like it's always on us. Shouldn't it be on them? Isn't it them that should be targeted, like their institution and stuff like that? Like we never see. I've seen it once here. A guy entered the parliament in Quebec. Lortie, I think he entered the parliament. But shouldn't it be like? Why is it always on us? Why is the terror always on us? That's something I wonder. I wonder why. There's a lot of stuff I wonder why. And that to me, I look at the inverted way and who's creating the terror? So that's maybe why it's not them that are targeted, because it's them creating it. So why would they terrorize themselves? They have to terrorize us. Very important. So we live in fear. So that's why you see so many false flag and stage events, and it's terrible. Me, I don't watch TV anymore, but I know it's there. I can feel it. I can hear people talk about it. Everybody around me talks, but not everybody. My wife's not on TV. My wife is pretty. She knows that it's just a stage thing, but she's never been. There's people that will never really be much on TV or stuff watching the news that they just naturally do not adhere to that state of living or that way of living, watching the news. That not There's some that just it doesn't make sense for them, but some people like me. I used to like the news. I used to watch the 24/7 channel on the news and have news about 9/11, what happened there, and when you realize it's so nonsense, and on top of it, you see the tower in UK that burnt and never collapsed. Wow, it's weird, eh? Never collapsed, but the World Trade Center like, and nobody asked. Everybody thinks it's plane that hit the building, and when there was probably never been a single plane hitting the building, like it's pure nonsense, but just to keep people in fear. It's the same story over and over again. Those with power who are so plagued by insecurity that rather than directing their strength to lift everyone up, take comfort and pleasure in pushing down those who are unlike themselves. Those they do not understand or value. Exactly. They don't value us. You can tell me that the government is valuing us. Hello. I think we're pretty much abandoned the people. They have abandoned the people. If you don't see it, maybe you need to open your eyes a little bit to see that the people have been abandoned and there is a lot of misery. If you don't see it, maybe you don't see it. Maybe you have so much money and so much comfort that you don't see the misery of the world. I think you have to live. You have to go through hard times to really know what living is. Then, if you have been given a silver spoon in your mouth all your life and you're in comfort and you have all the money and all the comfort around you and you don't know what it is to run dry on certain stuff, you will never miss it. What Peter Tosh said, you don't miss your water till your well runs dry. And that's very true. But some people are so much in comfort, and good for them. If they have money, good for them. Me, that's not my main aim. Yes, I would like to have a little bit more, but time will tell. Time will tell, and we'll see what Ja has a plan for me. I'm sure there's a something trace or something. I will make sense of it maybe in the future, and when I'm at that point, I will look back and I'll say, then I can connect the dot. It's easy to connect the dot looking backward. I think it's was the guy of Apple, Steve Jobs, said it's easy to look backward and connect the dot, but it's very hard looking forward. So you have to have faith. You have to have trust in yourself. I know when I look back in 10 years, I'll be able to connect the dots, see why I've done this here. But right now, right here, it's very hard for me to make sense of what's going to happen in the future if I'm here. But I know I'm doing this for something. First of all, to keep the vibes flowing and to once and for all eliminates all fear, all unlegitimate fear. Yeah. So I'm out and I'll be back later on. All controlled by the same people. The family values are long gone in society. Over sexualized and no family values. Cartoons are the big clue in with a toddler for me. For sure. The program starts very, very young. Never had a silver spoon day in my life, Janik. Got no money, but a lot of spirit through the hell I've been through. Same thing for me. I don't have a lot of money. I have what I have to live, and I'm being wise with my money for sure. You have to be wise because once you have eye on money, don't be too high and start spending all your money. Keep it aside. My advice to you. That's an advice I'm giving you. Remain very humble all the time because life is very long. can be very long when you look at it in sense of money. It's very short if you get out of time and you focus on your dreams. You're gonna see that life is very short. But if you have always worry about money and stuff like that, it's going to take you away from the now anyway. So be very wise with the organize. And then I say that maybe more for the younger generation. Maybe at we have realized us, most of us that are, I don't know who's watching, then maybe there's some younger one, but that's maybe for them or you, I don't know. But we all have, money burns in our hands, so it's very important to realize that too. And that's one thing, me, money burns in my hand. I knew from it, always did that. It always did that. I always, when I had money, I wanted to spend it. I wanted to, I've never really budget in life. I never really budget into for my spending or stuff, but I'm starting now to be more conscious of that I need to survive here in Babylon. So it's not always you cannot count on people to come and take you out the shit all the time. You have to pull yourself up and pull your big boy socks or big girl socks and face life with the realities of life. It's there, and we must be for sure. It's not the whole thing, money, but it's there, and it's something that is part of our reality right now. Thanks, Coach. Take care, family. Love you all. Rock steady for sure. Red Rose Rocker. Jay, big up, everyone. Life under the microscope. Big up. Always notice how little life from television affects you when you don't watch it. It's the effect is total reverse programming. It's the best thing. Me, I've never going back on this device. It's I have one. It's not even plugged in. I'm thinking even of selling them because I don't know what to do with them. So they're just a useless device for me. And yeah, all I need is a laptop. I like the laptop. I like going live and direct on YouTube. So rise and shine and live your dreams and day by day slay the advance with abandon, advance with full meet life with full presence and power, and advance with abandon because that's what you need to go through your fears and find strength in them. Find strength in your fears, people. Yeah, and we're gonna make it. We can all do it. We can all do it. It's just a matter of timing and patience. We must be very patient now because the world is on a shift. There's a shift. It's a new paradigm, like I said at the beginning. So it is happening. It's just to keep on pushing and staying positive and approach life with a smile. Approach life with a smile. There's so much negativity. We must rise above that because if we don't rise above the negativity, the hate, the love, everything, we will never make it to the divine dimension where we are heading back home. That's we're all heading back home to our place of natural living and natural vibration. And that's going to be a great, great day. That day is coming. It's on the way. So stay away from Babylon evil and rise and shine. You're such a wonderful people. He's out.